Now, in studio with me, I've got Mr. Douglas Mzimba from the National Competitiveness Commission. He is the Competitiveness Development Manager of the National Competitiveness Commission, and we're going to be talking more about the Rural Urban Council Competitiveness Index. Good morning, Mr. Douglas. How are you doing?
Morning. I am very fine. Compliments of the new season, and thank you very much for having me on air.
Likewise. I hope the new year has been treating you well. I hope you were well planned for it. Financially, you are well, acquainted with your Benjamins.
Definitely.
Good. So let's just jump right into it. What is the Zimbabwean Rural and Urban Council's Competitiveness Index, and what motivated its development?
Thank you very much for that question. And maybe before I answer that one, maybe just a brief background of who we are. Mm-hmm. We are the National Competitiveness Commission, and we are a semi-autonomous institution under the Ministry of Industry and Commerce. Okay. And our main mandate is to facilitate the creation of an enabling business environment that enhances industrial productivity and competitiveness, so that our Zimbabwean goods and services, they can compete in domestic and regional and international markets. So in a nutshell, that's who we are. And now coming back to your question about the Rural and Urban Council's Competitiveness Index, or RUCCI in short. Mm-hmm. I hope you are hearing that for the first time.
I am.
Yeah, so our listeners. So RUCCI is an index that was developed by the National Competitiveness Commission, and it mainly aims to serve about three things. Mm-hmm. The first one is to rank local authorities according to competitiveness performance throughout the country. Then secondly, it aims to identify the strength, opportunities and competitiveness gaps within councils to inform strategic decision making. And lastly, it aims to serve as a valuable tool to guide policymakers, businesses, investors, and even urban planners in their decision making. So it is primarily perception based. We will be interviewing households or residents within a particular local authority. We'll be also interviewing businesses operating within a local authority, the informal sector, and the council representatives themselves. And in terms of what motivated us to develop this RUCCI is in terms of our mandate. And I think late last year, you have seen a lot of regulatory reviews that was happening, that was being done by the government. Mm-hmm. I think we were the institution behind that, and we are now moving to local authorities. And secondly, you may recall that sometime in November 2023, His Excellency the President highlighted or made a clarion call to action: no compromise to service delivery for local authorities. And as an institution, or as a semi-government institution, we should be at the forefront of implementing the national vision and aspirations of our national leaders. So that's where we are coming from. And secondly, you may be aware that Zimbabwe signed and ratified the African Continental Free Trade Area. Mm-hmm. And for us as a country to reap the benefits from that trade agreement, you have to be competitive. And what we are doing is also done elsewhere. We have countries that are also doing that, because competitiveness is about comparison and benchmarking with what other countries are doing. So we are also following in the footsteps of what other countries are doing. So that's what motivated us to come up with this RUCCI. But most importantly, the end game is to improve service delivery within local authorities.
Okay, interesting. I think I'm going to start calling it RUCCI now. So now, how does this index align with Zimbabwe's national development goals, such as Vision 2030 and the National Development Strategy?
Oh, okay. Thank you very much for that question. And like I highlighted earlier on, that our work, it has to dovetails with what the central government is doing, because we have to be doing programs that implements what the government aspires. And it's good that you have highlighted the NDS and also Vision 2030, and the NDS 1, of course, which ended in December 2025, and we now have NDS 2 on board. Those are aimed at achieving the goals of Vision 2030. So maybe I will highlight briefly about NDS 1, which has just ended, and also maybe touch briefly on how the RUCCI will feed into NDS 2.
Okay.
So in terms of NDS 1, issues of competitiveness, they are awash in that document. They are there, and we cannot talk of national competitiveness without cascading down to local authorities. So national competitiveness is an aggregation of competitiveness either at firm level, even at industrial level, and at local authority level. And as a commission, in terms of RUCCI, that's where we are coming in. And you may be aware that even the government is implementing the sustainable development goals as national development priorities. And if you look at goal number 11 particularly, it talks about making cities and human settlements inclusive, safe, resilient, and sustainable. And that's what the RUCCI aims to that's what the RUCCI talks about. That's what the RUCCI aims to assess. Where are we as a country in terms of making cities and human settlements inclusive, safe, resilient, and sustainable? And if you look at NDS 1, it also talks about human capital development and innovation, and I think is one of the areas that we'll be also looking at under RUCCI. And let me also highlight that worldwide, improving the competitiveness of cities is a pathway to eliminate extreme poverty and promote shared prosperity. So we cannot achieve Vision 2030 of becoming an upper middle income without the local authorities being competitive. They are the drivers of national economic development. So that's where we are coming from. And it is rather refreshing that now coming to NDS 2, which was launched late last year, it is rather refreshing to note that the government has noted the importance of national competitiveness in achieving the goals of NDS 2. That's why the national competitiveness was given a mandate in terms under NDS 2 of undertaking what we call regulatory impact assessment. Yes, so that we achieve the national goals and the aspirations. So NDS 2, it talks about issues to do with infrastructure, innovation, also regional development, and also issues to do with devolution and decentralization, of which those are the things that will be also be looking at in terms of under RUCCI. So in a nutshell, that's what I can say with respect to RUCCI, maybe aligning to national development plans.
Now, do tell me, Mr. Zimba, why is competitiveness important at the local government level?
Yeah, maybe just like I have already highlighted that national competitiveness it should cascade down to lower tiers of government, because when you talk of national competitiveness, we'll be now looking at an aggregation of how the lower tiers of government has performed in terms of competitiveness. And through this RUCCI, what the commission intends to do is to foster a culture of competition among local governments to spur economic development. And like I indicated in my opening remarks, that it is also about improving service delivery within local authorities. And RUCCI, it also provides investors with valuable insights into the business environment, infrastructure, and other factors influencing the attractiveness of different locations for investment. So in this way, RUCCI, you find that it is important. And apart from that, like I indicated, the local authorities, they are the drivers of national and global competitiveness. Investment or businesses, they don't operate in a vacuum. They operate within councils' jurisdictions. So the actions of councils, they can either spur economic development and investment, or it can actually crowd out investment and development. So the actions of local authorities is fundamental in shaping the national development agenda. And that's how RUCCI comes in to assess how local authorities are faring in performing in the course of performing their line of duties. Are they promoting national development, or they are actually crowding out national development? And through this RUCCI, we will be also assessing issues to do even with the sustainability. And that's the talk of the day in this modern day. So issues of sustainability, especially in the wake of climate change, how local authorities are increasingly or are focusing on promoting sustainable development within their localities, because sustainable cities, they are more attractive to businesses, investors, and residents, thereby enhancing the national competitiveness we are talking about.
Interesting. Now, beyond service delivery, how does a council competitiveness directly impact job creation, SME growth, as well as, attract investors to a locality?
Thank you very much for that question, and I think you have touched on what is obtaining on the ground, especially for Zimbabwe. Is SME dominated, and about 90% of businesses in Zimbabwe are SMEs, and they also contribute a significant portion to GDP. We are talking about maybe around 60% of the GDP. So through this RUCCI, we believe that competitive councils, they will be able to create an enabling business environment through their policies, their bylaws, through their infrastructure development and support services that can improve firm competitiveness and attract external capital, and foster innovation. And we believe through this RUCCI, once maybe local authorities have streamlined even their business processes, once they have reduced even their level of fees, their levels, levies, and penalties, then we can now see SMEs graduating into big businesses. We can now see even the informal sector graduating from being informal to formal businesses. And through that, and of course it comes the growth of the SME sector, it comes with the job creation, it comes with even a reduction in operational costs. And you see SMEs graduating, or even the informal sector graduating from being from the what I may call the survival mode to growth. And through that it can increase jobs. And infrastructure development, investors, they want to invest where there is enabling infrastructure. And once there are those improvements, I am sure investments they can also follow. Yeah, so that's what I can say in terms of.
Okay, interesting. Last question I have for you is, can you briefly explain how the RUCCI was developed? And if you don't know what a RUCCI is, it's basically an abbreviation, right, if I'm not wrong, for what we are speaking about, which is the Rural Urban Council's Competitiveness Index, right? So can you briefly explain how, the RUCCI was developed and what parameters as well as indicators were used to assess competitiveness across councils?
Yeah, thank you very much for that question. We were already coming to the end of the program, and we were just talking about the RUCCI, but without really understanding what exactly is it about. So RUCCI, under RUCCI, basically we are looking at 5 pillars or 5 parameters. The first one, we are looking at local government governance efficiency. And by local governance efficiency, we be looking at things like transparency, financial management, how are local authorities managing their finances. And I think the central government has been very vocal with respect to that issue. We'll be also looking at the public service delivery, and this local governance efficiency, I think it is the foundational pillar for all aspects of development. So once you create a confidence deficit within your residents, then in terms of revenue mobilization or compliance to rate payment, it can become very low. You may rake in a few dollars, and that will have a negative impact on development within the local authority. So we'll be looking at local government efficiency. Yes. Then secondly, we'll be also looking at the economic ecosystem of a particular local authority, the ease of doing business within a particular local authority, the level of investment, the role of the local authority in facilitating economic activity across both formal and informal sectors. Then the third aspect or the third parameter that we'll be looking at relates to infrastructure, and we evaluate the stock quality and the reliability of critical physical infrastructure, your transport network, water provision, energy, telecommunication, and even social infrastructure for education and health. Investors, they might have challenges in coming in areas where there is no water. Obviously, to run a business, you need water.
True.
So we will be assessing those things. To run a business, you need power. So we will be also assessing those issues. Then we will be also looking at innovativeness, how innovative a local authority is. The world where it is going, they now emphasize on what is known as place-based innovation, leveraging on the available resources within a particular locality to spur local economic development, which ultimately translate to national development and achievement of the national development priorities that we were talking about earlier on. So we will be assessing how innovative a local authority is, how are they leveraging on available resources to undertake that place-based innovation. That's how other countries are developing. And lastly, we will be looking at resilience. And by resilience, we will be measuring the council's preparedness and the capacity to withstand, respond to, and recover from economic, environmental, and social shocks and disasters. And of course, maybe these 5 pillars, they are coded different ways. And for local governance efficiency, which is within the power of the local authority, you will find that we have accorded much weight to that parameter. So in a nutshell, that's the RUCCI parameters. But of course, under those parameters, those are broad pillars or parameters. There are now various sub-pillars or sub-indicators. Yeah.
Thank you so much, Mr. Douglas Mzimba. He is the Competitiveness Development Manager of the National Competitiveness Council, speaking on RUCCI, Rural and Urban Council's Competitiveness Index. I'm sure this is not the first and last time we're meeting because I've got so many questions.
Definitely.
So please do come back. Star FM is sounding good all the time. 07721